Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tunde Victor. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Tunde Victor 7 and send me a DM. I will be sure to respond to you. In this video, I will be showing you step-by-step process on how you can add texture to a plain or a seamless background. I will be showing you two methods. The first method is the non-advanced method for beginners, and the other method is a more advanced method. Both methods are quite easy if you follow the step in this video. So let's get started. For the first non-advanced method, the first thing I'll do is to bring my texture image to Photoshop, and I'm going to do that by coming to my file and then click on the place embedded. So I'm going to locate the image on my system, and I already know where I put it, so I kept it here, and I'm just going to click on place. So once that is placed on top of my image, I'm just going to resize it like this, and I'm going to click done. So after that, the next thing I'll do, I'll change the blend mode. All you have to do is play with the blend mode and see which one works for you. There's not like a perfect blend mode. It depends on the image or the lighting you are working with. So for this image, I think I'll go with soft lights for this particular image. I think soft light works better. Soft light always works better, and that's the truth. So I'm just going to click on soft light and click on my enter. So as you can see, the textures are all over the model skin, but don't worry about that. We'll get rid of that in a minute. So you can reduce the opacity if you want to. You can increase the opacity. You can make it a lot thicker by duplicating the texture layer by clicking on Ctrl J. You can see it's now thicker. I'll just undo that. So you can duplicate it if that's what you want. You can make it thick, but I think I'll be going for this one right here. So the next I'm going to add a layer mask to my texture image. So I'm just going to add a layer mask like this, and I'm going to use a black brush to paint on my model skin and remove this texture from her skin, just like that. Remember, I'm painting on the layer mask. I'm not painting on the texture layer. I'm painting on the layer mask I created. So if I use a white brush, you can see it's bringing back the texture. So if I use a black brush, I'm hiding it. So I'm just going to paint black on the model's skin to remove those texture, and this is the easy way to do it. Just take your time, be careful while doing it, and don't rush it. Just take your time, be careful when doing it, and don't rush it. So I'll just paint carefully over the model skin, because I don't want any texture to be on the model. I'm going to do this for the whole skin and the dress also. Anywhere I feel the texture is affecting the model, I'm just going to brush it out like that. Remember, you can always increase and decrease your brush size. Make sure your flow is on 100 and your opacity is on 100 when doing this, and you're using a soft round brush. Okay, I think we're done. Those parts are like the edges. You can just move to your white brush by clicking on X on your keyboard, or just tangle with this right here. So I'm just going to switch to my white brush. I want to paint some part in, so I'm just going to reduce the size of my brush and brush this part in like this. Just going to be careful about it. I'm just going to be careful about it. So I'm just going to do this for the rest like that. I'm going to do this here also. Remember, be careful when doing this, because you don't want the texture to be on the model skin. You have to be extremely careful when doing this. Okay. I'll do the same here. Just take your time and do this. Okay, I think we are done. Now let's see our before and after. This is before the texture and this is after the texture. I'm still seeing a little bit of texture on her hair. I'm just going to remove that by using my black brush like that. If you've learned anything from this video so far, leave a comment telling me what you've learned, and or you can ask a question and I'll be sure to answer. And if you are new here, click on the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you can get more amazing videos like this in the future. Now that I've successfully added the texture to the background of the image, we can add colors or add contrast to the texture. To do that, all I have to do is come to my adjustment right here, or I come to the bottom right here and click on levels, adjustment layer, and I'm going to clip it to the texture image. So I'm just going to clip it to the texture layer. So once I clip it to the texture layer by clicking on this clipping mask right here, it's going to be clipped to the texture, and everything I do is going to be affecting just the texture in the background. So I can add contrast to the image by bringing the shadows in and bringing the blacks in, or I can add little bit of shadows to the highlights by moving these sliders inside, or add brightness to the shadows by bringing these sliders in. Also, I can also add colors to the texture by coming on the reds. I can just adjust the reds, add the reds, or I can bring it to this other side, or I can come to the green also and add a little bit of green like that. So I can just play with the sliders and see whichever colors works for me. But I think I'm going to be using the red slider because I think this color looks okay. Or I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it the way it was before. I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to add a little contrast. I'm just going to add contrast to the background like this to make it contrasty. So that's how you can add texture to your image. So we're going to be moving to the next method, which is the advanced method. So I'm just going to group everything I did here in a group by holding shift and clicking on this last one, or holding control and click on it, or clicking on it. So after that, after I've selected both layers, I'm just going to click on Ctrl G to group them, and I'm done. I'm just going to hide it, and if I turn it on, you can see it. I'm just going to hide it right now because I want to show you the advanced. So for the advanced, I'm going to duplicate my background layer by pressing on Ctrl J to duplicate my background copy layer. So once I duplicate my background, you can see my background layer is 2. So I'm just going to select my subject out of the background. So to do that, I'll just come here and click on select subject. If you want to learn more about how you can select subject, I have a video about that. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description below, so you can go check it out. Once my subject is selected, I'm just going to click on layer mask, and once I click on layer mask, I've successfully removed my subject from the background. So if I hide my background layer, you can see it's remaining just my subject. I know the selection is not perfect. I don't want the selection to be perfect because I'm not cutting the subject out of the background. I'm just selecting it out. I don't want it to be perfect. If you want to get a perfect selection, go and watch my videos to see how you can get a perfect selection if you want to cut subject out of the background and replacing the background entirely. But for this particular image, I'm not replacing the background, so I'm just adding texture to the background. So after I've selected my subject out of the background, I'll just come back. So I'm just going to bring back my texture file by clicking on file and clicking on place embedded. So I'm going to click on my texture image again and click on place. Once I click on place, I'm just going to resize it like I did before and click on OK. So once I click on OK, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring it down below this layer right here. So I'm just going to bring it down like this, and once it's down, I'm just going to change the blend mode to soft light. And once I change to soft light, you can see our texture is at the background. If you feel you want to reduce the opacity, if it's too much, you can as well reduce the opacity or leave it like that. And
If you feel you want to change the color also or add contrast to it, all you have to do is come to your adjustment, click on levels. All you have to do is come to your, this is curves. You can also use curves, but I'm going to be using levels. So come to your adjustment, click on levels, or you come down here and click on levels. So once you click on levels, you can add contrast to the background. Once you click on levels, I forgot to use my clipping mask. Remember, always use your clipping mask. So I'm just going to clip it to the texture image. So once I clip it to the texture image, so I'm just going to add a little bit of white and add a little bit of black, like that. And also I can add colors. I'll come to my reds and just add reds like that. So let's see before and after. I'm just going to put this in normal. I'm just going to add a little bit of contrast like I did in the first one, like this. I think I'm going to add a little black. Okay, like this. So let's see our before and after. I'm just going to group them again. But I feel the selection here is not so perfect, so I'm just going to come to my brush and use my black brush to brush over like this, because I want that place to be selected. So I'm just going to brush over that place like this. Remember, if you want to learn how to get a perfect selection, I have a video for that, and I'll be leaving the link in the description below. I think it's okay like this. So let's see our before and after. These are before and these are after. These are before and these are after. So this, let me just group it so I can compare the beginner and the advanced method together so you can see the difference. So I'm just going to group everything like this, Ctrl G, and before and after, and turn it off. This is for the beginner, before and after, before and after. You can see there is not much difference. It's almost the same thing. This is before, and this is for the beginner, and this is the advanced method. So whichever method you feel works for you, you can use it. If you like this video and want to see more video like this, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment. I'll see you guys in my next video.